Did you know that over 70% of smartphones on the planet run on Android? That's almost 3.9 billion active devices worldwide. In today's video, we will teach you how to build an Android app from scratch using Gemini in Android Studio that can run on these 3.9 billion devices. From writing a PRD to building the design system, deploying the backend, fixing all the bugs and testing everything and then publishing it to the Play Store, we will show you how you can use Gemini inside of Android Studio to build an AI-powered job hunting app from scratch. We've already made tons of UX roadmap videos on our YouTube channel, but today, even if you have never coded before, you will be able to build your first Android application in the next 24 hours and get a proper checklist to launch it at the Play Store. This crash course has dedicated sections, so let's get started.
Thank you, Ansh. Now let's see what are the steps you need to follow to build this app inside Android Studio. So the step number 1 is to ideate on your problem. So what I'll do, I'll head over to Gemini and this is my prompt box. Now because we are building a job hunting application, we need to first ideate on what features do we need inside that application. And we can ideate that and brainstorm that with the help of Gemini. So I'll simply go to Gemini and then give my inputs for all the features that I need. Hi Gemini, so I'm building a job hunting app that will help me analyze my resume. It will also go to web every day and find me new jobs for me based on my skills and my resume. It will also have an AI feature built on the top of Gemini's API that will help me analyze all the gaps and all the skills that I need to build for being eligible for these jobs. And that's it. Now after this, I also want you to ask me questions and all the features that you think that should exist on this app. Now I have defined all the features that I need inside my Android app. I'll simply click on enter and now Gemini is syncing with me. Now this is very important for you to first brainstorm on your app, define your features by yourself before trying to build it inside Android Studio. Because after this brainstorming is done, we'll simply head over to Android Studio and run this prompt. So now Gemini has identified all the core feature suggestions. So now I'll type in or say that this looks good to go. Now give me a prompt that can be entered inside Gemini in the Android Studio so that it can start building this Android app. And that's it. Now we are preparing this prompt for ourselves that can be given to the Android Studio. So now you can see that we have our prompt. I'll simply copy this prompt end to end. And now it's very important for you to read everything before giving it to Android Studio, because then only you'll know that what all the features have been included inside your prompt. Now once done, I'll simply go to my Android Studio. Now you can download your Android Studio for your Mac or Windows directly from your Chrome browser. Once downloaded, this is the interface that you can see. To start a new project, simply go to the left navigation bar and select New Project. Once inside, these are all the options that you'll see. We'll simply select Create with AI and then enter our prompt. Now the best part about using Gemini inside Android Studio is that it can match your UI reference, which means that if you have an idea of how your UI should look like, or if you have a reference image, you can upload it inside your chat. So what I'll do, I'll simply click on this attach image and upload my reference. Let me show you how this looks like. Now this is how it looks. I have a progress bar, I have jobs applied, and I also get an option for my AI career advice, which was already included in my prompt. Now I'll simply go to my Android Studio and then click on enter. These are all the general settings that is required to start your project. Click on finish and then Gemini will start working on your application. On the right side, Gemini is building this app for me, and on this enter part, I have all my coding files. Now before this, you had to learn all the Android SDKs, all the Android development coding languages to build this kind of application, but now it's super easy with Gemini. This is the interface that you get. On the navigation bar, you get an option to select your agent. Above this, you also get an option for running devices. Once our app is ready, I'll show you how this running devices work, because then you'll be able to create a mockup for your Android device and test your app in real time inside your desktop. Now you can see that before building, Gemini has suggested me a project brief that I can go through. So it says that these are all the features that you are trying to include. This is the high-level technical stack. One very important update and the information that I should give Gemini here is that use the design for reference only and make sure all the buttons you add are related to our app structure and all of them are working, and that's it. You also get an option to select your mode, which is fast, ask or planning, because if you select planning first, then you can help Gemini ideate first before starting your project. I'll select fast only for now. You also get an option to select the feature of Gemini, which is default when you sign in with your account. Or the second one is add an API key. You can select or configure a different API key for your Gemini project, which can be found on Google AI Studio. Once done, your Gemini will be ready to use. Now once done, I'll simply click on enter. And that's it. And now you can see on the right side, it has started working on the task number 1. It has also created a plan.md file. .md file is just a simple markdown file that is being accessed by your Gemini. Now if we go to the left section, you can see that it has created all the project structure for you. You have manifests, you have Kotlin plus Java, which is your coding language, and then you also have results as well as keep rules. Now if I open any one of this, which is Kotlin and Java, you get following folders in which your application exists. Now you don't have to worry about all the project structure because that is being taken care by your Gemini. So even if you don't know much about Android development, Gemini will build the complete project structure for you from scratch. Now on the left side, you also see that you have Gradle scripts. So Gradle scripts only helps your project to automate your building process. So you don't need to worry about how this will look because that will be taken care by your Gemini's model. On the right side, you also get a list of all the files that it is changing right now for you. Now you also see that while working on your project, you also see some red lines underneath your coding files. Now if you are from a non-technical background, these are called errors. Now because you don't know how to solve these errors while building, Gemini will itself figure out in what files there are errors, what type of errors are these, and it will fix them by itself. And while working on your project, if you want to see what model are you using, or if you want to change your model, you can simply go to your prompt box, select the default button, and then select manage models. Inside manage models, you get all the settings that is required for your setup. And on the right side, you can see that you have plan and quotas in which you can see your model. You can always change this model. You can change this model to be used between your projects as well. And with that, you also get to see that how many credits are left for this particular model in your time limit. Now you can see that you get multiple highlights of green color as well as red color. Red colors are something that is being removed by your Gemini model. These are all the coding lines that are being removed, which existed initially. And all the green lines are all the coding lines that is being added by your Gemini to build your application. Now the best part while working with Gemini in Android Studio is that before making any changes, it asks for your approval. Once it has made all the changes to each and every file, it will ask you to audit everything, to review everything, and then you can decide which changes to approve. And now you can see that Gemini has now completed your foundation setup. So it can see that all the key steps are taken. These are all the navigation that it has built. And now it's moving to the next steps. So now Gemini is working according to its project plan that it built for you. And now you can see that all the steps of development are completed and it says that your app is now ready. What you can do is to test it out is to simply click on this play button on the top navigation bar. And it will automatically detect your device or detect a simulator from your Android Studio and start your application. You can see that all the options are now available. I can see an option to upload, skills and everything. So this is the place where I can upload my resume, but I cannot see an option to upload my file, which we need to fix now. I also get a tab for my skill section. So what I'll do, I'll simply go to my agent and then type in that the resume uploader is not working, please fix, and that's it. Now you can see that it is also asking for my Gemini API key because I asked it to include the AI features. So now let's see how we can find the API key for Gemini. So what I'll do, I'll simply go to my Google AI Studio dashboard. After going to my Google AI Studio, I'll go to dashboard. Once inside my dashboard, I'll get an option to select API keys. Once inside API keys, I'll simply create a new API key. So I'll name this Android Studio and then click on create key. Now once I have my key ready, I'll simply copy this key. Once I have copied this key, I'll simply go to my Android Studio. Either I can paste the key directly in my file or I can ask Gemini for it. So I'll say this Gemini API key. I'll enter my API key. I'll also say that fix the resume uploader option to accept files, and that's it. I'll now click on enter. Now this is very important for you to preview your app first, so then only you'll realize what are the changes that you need to make. Now this will also take around 5 to 10 minutes based on your feedback, but it's very important for you to keep giving Gemini your feedback because then only it will be able to use and build your app. Now till this is being built, let's go to our app again from the right navigation bar and selecting running devices. I can also type in my text for resume. So what I'll do, I'll open up my resume that I have saved on my system, and then I'll simply copy my technical skills and then go to my app again and paste it. And then I'll click on save and analyze. You can see that inside this, I also get an error that the API key is currently missing, which is being fixed by our Gemini in the chat model. So I think this app will only work once our API key is enabled and everything is good to go. And now you can see that it has now uploaded and updated that option. What I'll do, I'll also define what kind of model do I need to use inside my application. So I'll type in that I want to use Gemini 2.5 Flash for all generations inside my app. And that's it. Now if you don't define this, you can also change it to 3.5 Flash, but the issue that will come is that it will select the model by itself, hence consuming your tokens when you connect your API. And now you can see that it says that it has updated the model. So now you can see that after a few iterations, this is the UI in our app that we have received. You have a complete dashboard in which you can see your jobs. If I scroll down a little, you have all jobs in which you have senior full stack engineer, AI solutions architect. Now I've included a profile section as well where I've uploaded my text from my resume. You can also select an option to upload your file. It has also identified the potential resume gaps. Now this will come after few iterations. You'll have to ideate first, you will have to reiterate on your given problem statement, and after a few iterations and after few hours are spent on this particular project, you'll be able to build something like this. It has also included chats as well as dashboard. There are direct links that can help me go through that. Now if I pick any one of the job openings and I click on AI analysis, it will use Gemini 2.5 Flash model to find gaps for me and find where I need to prepare my skills to be eligible for this role. And now you can see that Gemini has created a AI resume insights for me. You see that it has missing skills, DevOps, advanced performance optimization, security best practices, and much more. Now because my resume included a text for a backend engineer, these are all the gaps that is required for this particular role. Now I can anytime go back to my dashboard and then I can use the screen. This is me as a user, this is the AI engineer which it got from the resume. If I again click on this AI resume audit button, and you can see that it has also identified the potential resume gaps in your resume. And now if I go back to my home page, you can see all other listing that is being done by Gemini itself. It is going to web, it is finding all the jobs for me and giving that in my application. Now if I go to my dashboard, you can see that I have a progression bar, I have jobs completed, I have average rating, I also get an option for AI career advice. Now let's say that you don't want to use all of your credits for making simple changes to your app. So what you can do, from the left navigation bar, go to your project structure, select Kotlin plus Java folder. In your case, it might be only Java folder, and go to any one of these folders. Click on the UI and then you'll find screens. You can select any screen, and then if I close this Gemini chat for a minute now, I get option to select my screen. If I click on any one of these, I get redirected to that particular screen, which means that if I want to change a simple text in my application, if I want to regenerate something, I don't have to go to the agent again and again, which means that if I want to change anything, I can simply click on this and I'll be redirected to that particular text, which means that if I want only AI career, I'll remove this advice and click on save. And then you'll see that in my text, the advice is no more, which means that for simple changes, you don't need to use AI inside Android Studio, because Android Studio and Gemini has created the file structure for you that you can easily navigate through. Now inside this as well, if I select this screen, I also get an option to select Gemini. So if I select this, I click on Gemini, I get an option to change UI, or I can also upload a target image and change this UI completely. Now this can be beneficial for you if you want to change the UI for a given feature. If you find extra references later for your application, then you can use this feature. And it works very similarly how you created it initially. Once done, now this is all your development part, which means that to deploy anything to your Play Store, you need a .apk file. Now let me show you how you can build a .apk file for your folder. You can simply go to this build option and then select generate app bundles or APKs and click on generate APKs. Now Gemini will also help you build everything and build your package, which is .apk file. And on the bottom right, you can see that your APK file was ready. which can be found in myapplication.app. Now if you simply click on locate, it will be simply redirected to your folder where your .apk file exists. You can use that .apk file, create a developer account on App Store and can easily deploy it. Now that includes a long process which needs approval and your auditing of your app, which will be done by Google itself. And once your app is approved, you can make it live on Play Store.
So now that Rohak has built the Android app, let's have two of our in-house developers, Parth and Shobit, test and review this end to end.
Hey guys.
All set? This app is really good. It has pretty good UI, clean UI. It is minimalistic and it's loading very smoothly. Yeah, I love it.
This app is actually pretty polished, simple, and it's even up to date. It has an AI feature in it.
For me, it would have taken 2 to 3 months to build this.
I think for me, it would have taken me around 5 to 6 months. And if I were working with a team, it would have taken me around 3 months.
So if it's generated in 3 to 4 hours or a few hours, that would be around 9 out of 10.
Guys, you should just put it on the Play Store. It's pretty amazing.
Now there are two major takeaways that we had after running this entire experiment. Number one, we think that AI is most useful when your first principles and your core vocabulary are super sorted. If you know nothing about coding and if you build something for the very first time, most of your time is going to be spent searching through documentations, going through multiple video tutorials, and then bouncing between 10 different tabs just to figure out what went wrong. But here, using Gemini in Android Studio will get you all of that support while you're building the app. So instead of constantly switching your context, you can stay in that flow state and you can spend a lot more time building things as compared to just reading documentations. The second big takeaway is that app development is becoming way more accessible than it used to be. But then at the very same time, the competition is also getting higher and higher. So the benchmark for a good app is now rising. A project just like this could have taken weeks to build just a few years ago. Gemini in Android Studio can help you move way faster. If you're an experienced developer and if you're working on yourself, it can speed up your workflow and help you stand out. If you're still learning Android development, it can help you solve problems and learn as you build. That is what makes an IDE like this super exciting. They don't just help you write your code faster, they make it easier to turn a basic idea into a proper working app or a great prototype. So here is a challenge for you. Build your own app with Gemini in Android Studio this week and post it on social media and tag us. I would love to see what you create. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your host Ansh Mehra signing off.